Welcome to Lifestyle. Style your life with love and laughter. Live long and live strong. Help somebody, love everybody. This is Lifestyles. Your lifestyle. Keep on moving. Mark Lowry next.
Any hyperactive people here tonight? I thought I sensed there was someone in the crowd. I was a hyperactive kid. I tell you what, I knew about hyperactivity. I was on Ritalin for most of my childhood. Every night, Mom and Dad used to tuck me into bed after I'd had my whipping. What? You mean you didn't get a whipping every night before you went to bed? Every night they took me into bed after I'd had my whipping. And my parents believed in spanking you. See, I was watching some TV talk show the other day. They had some pseudo-psychological idiot on there saying, oh, don't ever spank your children. It'll squelch their personality. I'm here to tell y'all, Mama squelched my personality all over the house. Until you've been shook so hard, spit flies out of your mouth, swings around, slaps you on the back of the head, you have not had a happy childhood. It's those same people tell you not to spank your kids that tell you not to cook your vegetables. It's that same crowd. They're all communists. Mom and Daddy tuck me into bed and say, Mark, oh, I heard it every night. Every night they'd say, Mark, one day God's going to use you. I don't know if they always believed it, but they said it every night. One day God's going to use you. But until he does, take this pill. I had a teacher in the 3rd grade, Miss Johnson. I'll never forget her. I was in her class for a whole week. She was so pretty. She had long black hair. She had homegrown fingernails. These were not Lee press-on nails. These were homegrown. And I would come home from school with her fingernail prints in my arms. And my mother went down to that principal and said, I know he's hyperactive. And I know he's a handful, but he's not coming home from school with fingernail prints in his arms from his teacher. I want him moved to another teacher's classroom. So they moved me over to Mrs. Holland's class. Mrs. Holland, she was older than Miss Johnson. She wasn't as pretty as Miss Johnson because Miss Johnson was young and fresh out of college, and Miss Holland had taught for many years. In fact, she's about 10 years older than God when I met her. And she had big fluffy hands, and when I would get hyper, she would take me on walks around the Hollybrook Elementary School, and she'd have the student teacher take over the class. When I couldn't sit still, instead of fussing at me or grabbing me, she'd say, Mark, let's go for a walk. And she told me God liked hyperactive kids. She told me the same thing my parents had told me, that God had a special place for hyperactive kids. And that it was okay to be hyperactive. I'd never heard anybody say God liked me before. I'd heard people say God loved me, you know, and God has to love you. I mean, he's God. God is love, and that's sort of what he does. But I never heard he liked me. I mean, there is a difference, you know. There are a lot of people I love, I don't like. I go through Thanksgiving and Christmas too. Oh, don't sit there. Some of you sit there like a bunch of pious gas bags. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You know who popped in your head. You know what I'm talking about. You'll cry at their funeral, but you don't want to go on vacation with them. You know exactly who I'm talking about. But God likes us. She told me God likes hyperactive people. God likes There's 2 kinds of people in the world, hyperactive and boring. And God loves you both, and God likes you both. Hyper creative, that's what Mama called me. God likes you. Miss Holland told me that. Miss Holland retired from teaching the 3rd grade several years ago, and her mother, I don't think so, her daughter wrote me and said that her mother, Mrs. Holland, was going to retire from teaching the 3rd grade. And she said, my mother has talked about you to every 3rd grade class she's had since you were in her class. And would you write her a congratulatory letter? And so I sat down and wrote her a letter. She'd written enough novels about me, I'd worn them home from school every day, you know. And I wrote her a letter and I told her, I said, Mrs. Holland, the difference between you and Miss Johnson is Miss Johnson had fingernails that love flesh, but you had hands that love children. And I want to thank you for loving me and telling me that God liked me. Can I help it if I can't sit still? Can I help it if I have a short attention span? I'm not like that all the time. Never took anything. And I'm bored. Think I'll flip to a music video.